Okay, let's just get right to it. Why are we here? What's the point of, well, any of this? It's probably the most human question there is, right? We all want our lives to mean something. And for centuries, philosophy has been wrestling with this exact problem. Today, we're going to tackle one of the most intense and maybe even one of the most challenging answers out there: existentialism.
So, I'm going to ask you straight up, what gives your life meaning? No, really, just think about it for a second. What's the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning? We spend so much of our lives trying to figure this out, trying to find that one thing, our purpose.
And, for some people, it's God. For others, it's love. Maybe for you, it's your job, or fighting for a cause you believe in. Or maybe it's something completely different. It could be creating art, the absolute thrill of watching your team win, or heck, even pouring your heart into writing fan fiction. The list of what could give us meaning is basically endless. But the search itself, that's something we all share. For most of human history, there was a pretty straightforward answer to this whole meaning question. The idea was actually kind of simple. You don't have to go out and find your purpose because you were already born with it. This whole belief system has a name. It's called essentialism, and it goes way back, all the way to ancient Greek thinkers like Plato and Aristotle. The core idea is that everything in the universe, from a rock to a tree to you and me, has an essence. Think of it like a core set of instructions that defines what that thing is supposed to be. Here's a super simple way to get it. Think about a knife, okay? The handle could be wood, it could be plastic, whatever. But what happens if you take away the blade? Well, it's not a knife anymore, is it? It can't cut. That blade, its cutness, is its essence. And for centuries, the thinking was that we humans have an essence just like that, something baked into us before we even exist. So for thousands of years, that was the deal. But then, starting around the 19th century, a new wave of thinkers started showing up. People like Soren Kierkegaard and Friedrich Nietzsche. And they looked at this whole framework and they started to poke holes in it with a really radical and honestly a pretty terrifying new idea. This new idea didn't just tweak the old one, it flipped it completely upside down. The old formula was essence comes before existence. But then a French philosopher named Jean-Paul Sartre came along and asked this brilliant, game-changing question. Wait a minute, what if we got that backwards? What if existence comes first? And boom, that right there becomes the central mantra of existentialism. Existence precedes essence. What does that mean? It means we're just born. We show up here as a blank slate, with no built-in purpose, no instructions. It's only after we're here, living and breathing, that we start to define who we are. We create our own essence through every single choice we make. Okay, so on the surface, that sounds pretty great, right? Liberating. No destiny, no script we have to follow. We can be anything. But for the existentialists, this total freedom isn't just a party. It's also completely, utterly terrifying. It comes with this massive, crushing weight. And here's why. This is the core problem. We are creatures who are wired to look for meaning. We look up at the stars and we shout, "What's the point?" hoping for some kind of answer. And the universe just stares back. It's completely silent. So you've got us, these meaning-hungry beings, stuck in a universe that doesn't seem to have any meaning to give. This clash between our desperate need for meaning and the universe's total silence, well, it has a name. Thinkers like Albert Camus called it the absurd. And for Camus, the most important thing you can do, the first step to living an authentic life, is to look the absurd right in the eye and not blink. So what does that actually mean, living in an absurd world? Well, it means there's no grand plan, no cosmic justice to make sure the good guys win, no built-in fairness. There's no universal rulebook telling you what's right and wrong. And there is absolutely no path you're supposed to be walking. This is what led Sartre to one of his most famous and, honestly, most chilling phrases. He said, "We are condemned to be free." Yeah, condemned. Why? Because if there are no rules, no guidelines, then we have to make it all up ourselves. We have to invent our own morality from scratch. And that means the weight of every single choice we make is 100% on us. And that is a heavy burden. To make this whole agonizing freedom thing a little more real, Sartre told a story about one of his students. This young man came to him completely torn up, facing a truly impossible choice.
So here's the deal. It's World War II. The student can go and join the French resistance to fight for a cause that he believes in with all his heart. Or he can stay home with his aging mother. She's all alone and he's her only comfort. If he goes to war, he's a small part of a huge, important struggle. If he stays home, he is the entire world to one person. See the problem? Both feel like the right thing to do. Now look, the easy way out would be to just not choose. He could have just done what his friends were doing, or asked a priest what to do, or followed a government order. But Sartre had a term for this, bad faith. It's basically running away from your freedom. It's pretending that some outside authority, your parents, your religion, anyone, has the magic answer for you so you don't have to carry the weight of the choice. Because here's the kicker. All those authorities, they're just people. Your parents, your teachers, your leaders, they don't have a special hotline to the universe. They're just figuring it out as they go too. So no moral theory, no book, no person could give the student the correct answer. And this is the key. There was no right answer just sitting there waiting for him to find it. The right answer was created in the exact moment he chose. By picking one and owning that choice completely, by accepting that crushing freedom, that is what made his action the right one. He gave it value. And that story just perfectly captures the final and, I think, most powerful lesson of existentialism. Yeah, it starts out sounding kind of bleak and scary, but if you flip it around, it's actually the ultimate form of empowerment. You get to be the author of your own meaning. So let's just walk through the logic one last time. Okay, if we start with the idea that the universe itself is silent, that it has no purpose baked into it, then that means the canvas is completely blank, and you are the one holding the paintbrush. You are totally free to fill that canvas with whatever purpose, whatever meaning you want. Nobody gets to tell you you're doing it wrong, because you're the only one who gets to decide what the painting is supposed to be. And this isn't just about our own personal lives, it's about the whole world. If you look around and see a world that's unjust, or unfair, or chaotic, an existentialist would say, well, of course it is. Justice and order aren't just floating around out there. If we want those things to exist in the world, then it's our job to build them ourselves. So, a philosophy that starts in what feels like a really dark, empty place actually ends with this incredible call to action. It hands you everything, the ultimate freedom and the ultimate responsibility. So, I'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. Since you are free, what meaning are you going to create?